gentlemen, I am Chronic Chris from AsgardRadio.com, where the gods go to rock, and we are talking tonight with John and Alison from Roses Unread about the video for Fireflies.
What's up,
What's
everybody?
up, everybody?
It happens to the
Story
best
of my
us.
life.
How did the song come about? What was the inspiration behind it?
I think I started the song actually on my own, just playing around with loops and things on my laptop, and it was something I always believed in. It was just a little bit different than what we normally do, because normally we write heavy riffs, and I mean we don't scream in our music, but it's a lot heavier than Fireflies. It's always a lot heavier than Fireflies. So this is when I was kind of like weird to take to the guys. I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna think of this one, because it's a lot softer than what we normally would do. But I brought it to John, and he's like, I like it. Has a very poppy feel to it. And he's like, I think we can add some heavy guitar still to it, and ended up really being, a really interesting, new song from us, and we've gotten a lot of traction, from it. So, I love the song personally.
Same here, and the video effects on the video. That's just awesome.
We have a really good video team that's been with us for a little while. We have we'll have like multiple makeup artists, and but we have, like, for the most part, like a 3-person team that helps us create our videos, because we're very artistic people, obviously, but they help us get kind of the vision for what, like, the visual of the song means to us. And yeah, so I was really happy with the way the video turned out. It was cool. It was we usually do a lot of, like, full band performance videos and stuff like that, but this particular video, it's a very intimate song, and we wanted the video to translate that. So it's almost like a dream sequence. And yeah.
That's kind of the idea I'm picking up watching it,
Yeah.
Sitting in the backyard dreaming.
Yeah, very, very dreamy and ambient, and and there's also effects in the music that almost have a Fireflies sound. So that's the best way I can describe it. It's very dreamy and ambient. And December, who does all the art for our music videos, for the longest time I had to come up with ideas, and I couldn't focus on one thing or another. It was just too much for me. And then our paths crossed, and it was like she was like the yin to my yang when it came to, like, trying to get my message across. And she's just very good at bringing the songs we have to life. Just I totally wish I would have had her years ago when we first started doing music videos, because it would have been so much easier on me. I could just focus on my performance and the delivery of it, instead of going, okay, you're gonna do this, we're gonna put this here. It was just too much for me. And like I said, she's just amazing when it comes to that, and she just brings the songs to life.
All right, yeah. Hey, a lot of it is too much for just one person. That's why we take naps.
Yeah, for sure.
I had to have one. We've been in the studio for the last week. You've been in the studio like pretty much all week.
I've been in the studio. Yeah, well, how we've been doing our studio sessions. Hey, Rebecca, by the way. We
I'm in line for the very soon I get this rep that I post.
You're good.
Well, how we've been doing our regular studio bookings now is our producer that we've worked with for many years, he moved into a new studio space, and he's like basically blocking out a week for each band, and you will go in, and Allison and I will usually write a demo here in our studio, which is this room, and then Rocky and Jed will kind of help us refine that, and so we'll take that to our producer, and that's usually the beginning of the week, and he'll kind of help refine it from there, and then we'll do drums one day. Usually takes 2 days for guitars, 1 day for bass, and then
2 days vocals.
2 days for vocals. And so I was there like every day this week except when when drums, because I had like a photo session with
that was bass. That was the day we did bass.
Yeah, so I was at the studio working with one of our producers' other artists, and I was doing like a photo press session for him that day. So yeah, I've been in the studio all day this week, and it wears you out in the best way possible, because it's like creatively and mentally draining to work on a song. A lot of people don't know all what goes into it, and they're like, takes you 5 days to record a song. Like, you know, but yeah, it's always a fun process. We just recorded song 8 this week, and Fireflies is song number 3 off the new album we're working on.
And we're eventually gonna do like a post Rapture, because we had, what was it, 5 songs on Rapture?
Yeah.
So this one will be like the post Rapture, and we're gonna have more songs on it. And so we've got so far Leave a Light On and Creatures and Fireflies, and then release another one, you know, as soon as we can. So it's just a constant flow of creativity. Sometimes I don't know where it comes from, but it's just one of those things. You gotta keep your mind open for it, which is hard sometimes when you're tired and you have your hands full. But you know, it hits in weird times, and you have to just embrace that when it happens, even if you are tired or wore out or overwhelmed.
Right. So with the album comes a tour. Do you guys got any upcoming shows planned?
We've got a couple kind of regional shows. We don't like have any plans for a proper tour yet. That's always, you know, like Alison said, we can only focus on one thing at a time, because for the most part we're a DIY band. So nothing in the works yet as far as touring goes. We're just focused on finishing up these songs and getting them out there, so when we do go out and play, there's you know, more people know who we are, and the people that know who we are will be excited about the new stuff.
Okay. Because I know you guys were supposed to do a show at the Warehouse in Clarksville. I was really looking forward to that. Unfortunately, that venue is no more.
I know, that makes me so sad. We
played there
many times.
We played there last year, I think.
Yeah, we did play last year, but we've been playing there since, you know, Roses Unread started. You know, we played with some really cool bands there and had some really good memories. I was really sad about that.
Yeah, I like that place. It was my kind of place.
Yeah, it was always really nice people, and I loved the stage. The sound guy was always really good. It was just, you know, and it wasn't we're 3.5 hours from there, I guess, ish.
Yeah, like 3. Yeah,
you know, so it wasn't like a terrible, crazy drive, and it was a new place, you know, new place to play than, you know, what we normally played. And I'm getting, it really bums me out. It does.
Well, hopefully we'll get a show somewhere, and I'll be able to go and finally see you guys live. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I should come to Washington State.
Say what, Rebecca?
I said I want them to come to Washington State.
Yeah, I do too. I've never been to Washington State.
I haven't either.
I've never been to the Pacific Northwest.
And he's been to a lot of places. Like he traveled a lot as a child. I didn't get that glory, but he traveled a lot as a child. I'm surprised you haven't been there.
Nothing glorious about it. But,
I'm jealous. Like I wish I would have gone to some of the places you've gone to.
Well,
like,
I've never played nor been to the Pacific Northwest, so I would love to go sometime. That's kind of on my bucket list, is to go kind of explore that part of the country.
I'm gonna do another Battle of the Bands next year, 2022. I'll make sure to send you guys all the submission information if you're interested in joining and doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're hoping for the sponsors to give us a $2,500 prize next year. We got a $1,500 one this year.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Alison, can you explain your Patreon?
Oh yeah, my Patreon.
Join your Patreon.
Yeah, Rebecca's actually a patron.
Yeah.
I just finished up my stuff today. It's weird because Patreon it charges patrons at the beginning of the month, but then sometimes it'll act funny and then you won't get like the payment to the 15th. So I was like trying to finish up everybody before I sent them all out, because the lady at the post office, she doesn't like me, so I like to just bring them all at one time and get it over with, because it's a lot. But yeah, my Patreon page, it's like a fan club for people who want a little extra more from us. So I have photos, I have, mystery bags that have like stickers, jewelry. I make jewelry also, handwritten poetry. Some of the bigger tiers, I'll send painted drum heads. What else do I have? I have like so much I do. Like I'll send outfits from shows. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
We got JD here. He's a member of your Patreon too.
Oh yeah, JD. Yeah, JD. I just like I said, I was just finishing them up. I was like going through all the names. So yeah, it's a lot. It usually takes me, it takes me about 3 or 4 days to get them all. If I have like a good Saturday, I can knock them out if I start early, but I won't probably get done until like midnight. Like that's how big we've built it, and like that's basically that. And our Twitch channel is how I know you have one too. That's how we're able to keep putting out music. If we didn't have patrons like Rebecca and JD and everybody else, that's how we're able to just keep giving you guys material, and that's basically it. All it is. We're DIY, like he said. We basically, I know even some of my money from my actual job I put back into the band. So this is like our child, and we put everything we have into it. So anybody who supports us, they're like I said, I spoil my patrons. I really do. Like he's even like, "Why you're sending too much this month?" And I'm like, "Shh, it's okay. It's okay. You stay in this lane. I'm in my lane." But it's like not every month. Sometimes it might be a little something, but sometimes like around Christmas or whatever, I spoil. I can't help it. But but I just appreciate everybody so much for support. And I've had my Patreon since 2018, and I think I'm up to like 130 patrons right now. So it's a process, but it's one of my favorite things to do. I really enjoy getting this stuff together and making everybody's gifts. It's one of my favorite things.
I love everything you do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Like I said, it's fulfilling for me to do it. And he'll be like, "Are you still doing Patreon?" I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "You're not tired?" I'm like, "No, I like it." Sometimes our merch girl Whitney, she'll help me, and she'll make decals, and she's really good at making decals and shirt, like extra little shirt designs and stuff. So sometimes she'll say, "Look what I made for the patrons," and I'm like, "I didn't tell you to do that." She's like, "I know, I just wanted to." So she's, she likes it too. So it's a group effort for sure.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much in this industry, have to be in a group effort, big village to make it go really well. Yeah,
it's definitely not a one-person job. John takes all the pictures for, you know, if I'm making new stickers or mailing out photos. It's usually all, you know, him if it comes to just portraits, you know, of myself. If it's like live, we have our photographer Kevin who takes some. So it's like I said, it's a group effort. Even when it comes to music videos, like I couldn't do all that by myself. Even with the 3 guys, we couldn't do that all by ourselves. So it takes an army. It really does.
Yeah, it's about what you need to do all this too. So who came up with the idea for the visual effects for Fireflies?
That was, well, I would say December and Elliot.
Yeah.
Elliot, he's an awesome, you know, with his camera work, and he went in. I mean, like they basically hung all those lights in the trees. I was scared to death they were gonna fall. I'm like, they're going to fall. We actually had 2 days of doing this music video. The first day it started raining, like really, really bad, and knocked over our tent outside. And I'm thinking these lights are gonna get destroyed, and there's no way we're taking all these lights down in this lightning right now. So Ellie just left them up there, and then the next week we finished, and like all the lights still worked. I was in shock. And you know, December had all the candles going, and I don't know, Elliot added all the actual like effects to make it very dreamlike.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, that was all them. They were like, we just want to make it ambient as it can be, because you know, for fireflies, because we had actual fireflies out there, but they were hard to see, but they were everywhere though. I was like, this is pretty cool, and if you really focus, you can see a few of them in the video, and actual lightning too, which is really neat. But we couldn't stay out there very long because the weather was getting intense. Like when I thought, I was like, y'all, we got to wrap this up. We got to go. And it was getting scary out there. Like I hightailed it back in the car, and I was like, yeah, let's go, because I don't like bad weather. It freaks me out very bad. So I was the first one back in the car to go back to the house. It was getting to that point.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen out there in Twitch land, if you haven't watched the video for Fireflies, you're about to, because here it is. And I've noticed a theme in your video with some clocks.
Yeah, I always wonder if anybody's ever going to ask that.
Yeah.
You're actually the first person to ever say something about that in all the interviews I've done.
I'm pretty sure every video I've seen a clock somewhere.
And they're all set to a certain time.
Yeah, if you've noticed that.
Yep.
They all have the same time.
And there's a significance to that.
I can share that after that you play the video, or we could talk about it now. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So basically, we had a song called Room 312 on our second album, Until We Meet Again. And my friend's grandmother at the time was really sick, and she passed away in Room 312. And she wanted me to write a song about her grandmother. And so I wrote her this song, and then after I wrote it, literally like 3 months later, my grandmother passes away in the same nursing home. So I had, you know, the song Room 312, which when we did the music video for it, it was like a granddaughter and her grandmother saying goodbye to each other. And we actually shot it in my grandmother's house. And my dad actually had the idea. There was this old clock, and he was like, well, since it's called Room 312, let's set the clock to 312. And that was one of the opening scenes in the video. And after that, it just kind of became like a thing. It was kind of like, for me, to like a dedication to her in each video, because she believed in the band so much. And even though she didn't pass away in Room 312, and I wrote it about my friend's grandmother, you know, I still experienced it, because 3 months later I lost mine, and I lived with mine, and she came to every show. She was so dedicated. She'd go, I mean, if it was like screaming band, she didn't care. She wanted to come, and she wanted to see us play. It didn't matter where it was. And before she passed away, she helped us fund our album, and, you know, we dedicated it to her. And so the 312 thing is like just you know, something for her to let her know that, you know, hey, thank you for believing in us, and you know, this is just our thank you in each one. And I don't think it's been in every single one. I think it was there was one it wasn't in. Maybe After All or something,
Yeah.
and Vultures. But after those two, we kind of picked back on it because we put in Ugly Truth because December had the idea of a clock in that one, and I was like, well, if you're gonna put a clock in it, what you know what we gotta do? We gotta set it to 3:12. And then the same clock was used in Lying to Yourself, and we set it on 3:12 again. And then it wasn't in Leave a Light On though. It wasn't. That's right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It wasn't in Leave a Light On, and we picked it back up with Creatures and Firefly. So it's actually in the Creatures one too.
Okay. All right. Yes, that is just an amazing video for Fireflies. I love it.
Thank you.
Ah, speaking of
My
creatures, that one
favorite.
popped up next. No, Doug, we're not playing Mario on Twitch tonight. I recently found a website that's got every single Mario Brothers game ever made, and I was stuck on that for
Wow.
a minute.
That's awesome though.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Didn't you play that on the Switch?
no.
No, that's-
So the game
No.
that Jed and I play, Shredder's Revenge, which is the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's on Nintendo Switch, and it's just like the old arcade Ninja Turtles game that we had when I was a kid. You know,
there.
When I go to the store with my mom, and they always had 2 arcade games at the store, and so when my mom was checking out, I'd run over there and play, and they had Ninja Turtles over there for a while. And Jed told me about it, and so that's what we've been playing lately.
That's awesome. And I like that a lot of these new things are bringing back them old school games like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
me
sure,
too.
for sure.
Now I just need GameCube to. There was a game I played on GameCube called Eternal Darkness, and Jed remembers it, and it was like the funnest game ever. And I think you can play it on Wii, but it would be so cool if you kind of had like a handheld thing too with it. I think
Yeah.
that would be so awesome. But it's just those old games. You just gotta love them.
So what's coming up for Roses Unread? Any big plans?
We're just finishing up our album right now, and Fireflies is the 3rd single from that album, and we're steadily releasing singles for everybody while it gets finished. So yeah, we got one more session later this year, and so we'll have the whole thing recorded, and then in the meantime we're gonna work on the next single for you guys, and I think the next one's gonna be a little bit goofy.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It's a very serious song, but we're gonna kind of put like how like Foo Fighters would do, and they add something crazy with a serious song.
We're not
That's
gonna, we're not gonna elaborate too much because
Yeah.
we're still working it
But
out.
that's the best I can say, because how Foo Fighters, like, think about Everlong
Mhm.
and how goofy that video was, but how just emotional and, you know, just melodic, serious that song actually was, and then they put it to what they did, and it just changed the whole thing. So, but and we have some shows in October. I think we have them in Mississippi. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's Mississippi.
Yeah.
And we'll keep those posted. You can get everything off of our website. It's rosesunreadofficial.com. And it'll take you pretty much to everything. Our shows, our videos, Twitch, Patreon, all that stuff.
Alright, well there you go, folks. Well, Allison and John, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight, making some time for us. It's been this show, this sitting here with talking to you guys, this has been a long time coming. I know I've been trying to hit you up for a while, and schedules get conflicted, and then
Yeah.
like I said,
Yeah.
I started the new job 5 months ago, and that's got me working 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, plus all the overtime I can muster on the weekends.
Totally know the feeling.
But yes, well, hey, like I said, none of us work compared to Allison.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. I have to go in early tomorrow. I have bus duty. bus and car rider duty. So that should be just awesome.
And your fan club is called the Thornies?
Yeah, that's what they've come up for themselves. They named it. I did not.
Okay.
But we have the patron, like most of them are patrons, and they follow us on Twitch. They're just like, they're family. They're the big family. They keep us alive. They keep Roses Unread alive. Without them, there'd be no more music.
Right.
There'd be music, but it wouldn't be as much. Put it that way. So, because that's how we're able to put music videos and singles out and new merch and you name it. So, major props to them.
Well, see, and unfortunately, I'm in the same boat you are. I take all the money for my day job and put it back into the radio station and into the studio and.
Yeah, I do a lot of that for Patreon. Like I'm always buying stickers, and he'll be like, "Let the band buy that." I'm like, "No, this is my treat this week." It's just that's how I see it. But
Right.
put everything you have into it.
Alan, my wife is just like John there. How much you gonna spend on stuff you don't need this month?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need it. They need it.
I don't need it, but I want it, and when I
But
need
I want
it,
it.
I'll have it.
He's got a lot of
And then my
guitars
par-
though, so he can't talk. You see them all behind him.
Yeah, that's part of them.
Hey,
Hard.
when the wife tells me not to get another guitar, I come home with the upright.
Yeah, nice.
It's like, well, it's technically not a
It's
guitar.
technically not a guitar.
You just said guitar.
Exactly.
I normally, if it's a cool guitar, I normally encourage it though. Do I not?
Yeah.
I normally do.
Yeah, but the difference between me and John is he's actually good at guitar.
That's a stretch, but
No, I'm like you. I'm not the best player, but I have like a weird obsession with wanting acoustic guitars. But I'm not the best either, so I'm with you.
Okay. But anywho, yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. Can't wait for more music from you guys. And Heath up there in Maine says when he comes down, we're going down there to see you guys at a show.
Heck
badass.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So.
Is that Heath Allen or another Heath?
No, that's Heath Allen. Yep.
I thought.
He's
We love, yeah, Heath's awesome. We love Heath. I figured that's who it was, but I was gonna, you never know.
Yeah.
I figured that's who you were talking about.
Yep. That's my brother from another mother. If I go more than 2 days without talking to him, something ain't right in the state of Maine.
That's like John and Rocky. Even if they don't even want to be on the phone, they're gonna find a way to talk to each
Yeah,
other. It
yeah.
always happens.
Send a message and end up in a video chat. I don't want to talk to him. I'm gonna message him. 20 minutes later, you're in a video chat.
Yeah, I know the
Yeah,
drill.
they'll start off texting, and then one of them will call the other one.
The messages start getting deep.
Yep.
But I'm the type where like I'll keep typing, and then finally I'm like, I can't type anymore. Then I'll call the person. I'm like, I'm tired of it.
Oh, Heath said thank you so much, Allison. You guys rock.
Heath rocks too.
But either who, folks, it has been a blast hanging out with Alice and John, but I do got to cut it short tonight because I got to go do a birthday party for Chronic Jr. out there. He's 25 today, and then my wife is halfway to 100 on Friday.
Halfway to 100. She's gonna get you for telling
Yeah.
her age.
No, hey, that's a birthday to be excited about. Halfway
Yeah.
to 100.
You're right.
Yeah, for sure.
You're right. That is.
Well, thanks for having us, Chris.
Yeah, thank you,
Thanks
Chris.
for joining us, and we'll definitely have to do it again sometime.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen out there in Twitchland, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it so much. Check out John and Allison's video for Fireflies. Check out their Patreon, their website. Support them, share the word, spread the love. Thank you very much. I'm Chronic Chris from Asgard Radio. With me always is Rebecca Kelly Hartnett tonight and Allison John from Roses Unread. We will see you.
Thank you,
fine
guys.
folks.
Thank you.
We'll see you fine folks next weekend.